Hello everyone, back again with our channel Egopedia. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. How to balance your ego in everyday life. The ego is often misunderstood. Some think it's the enemy, something to crush or get rid of. Others believe it's what drives success and confidence. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. Your ego is not bad. It's simply a part of your identity, your sense of self. It helps you stand up for yourself, take pride in your work, and maintain personal boundaries. But when ego is out of balance, either too inflated or too diminished, it can cause problems in relationships, decision-making, and even your inner peace. The key is not to destroy the ego, but to balance it. Here's how you can do that in everyday life. 1. Know when ego is in control. Ego tends to show up in moments of challenge or emotional discomfort. Learn to recognize these signs. You feel the need to prove you're right. You take things personally. You can't accept criticism or feedback. You feel jealous or threatened by others' success. You're defensive or closed off during conflict. By noticing these reactions, you become more self-aware. And self-awareness is the first step toward balance. 2. Replace reactivity with reflection. When your ego is triggered, pause before responding. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is this about truth or about my pride? What outcome do I really want here? Reflection gives your wiser self a chance to respond, rather than letting your ego drive the reaction. 3. Practice humility without losing confidence. Balancing ego means being grounded, confident, but not arrogant. You can do this by acknowledging when you're wrong, admitting when you don't know something, letting others shine without feeling diminished, sharing your strengths with gratitude, not pride. Humility doesn't mean shrinking, it means being strong without the need to dominate. 4. Embrace feedback as a gift. Many people resist feedback because the ego sees it as an attack. But balanced individuals view feedback as a tool for growth. Next time someone offers a suggestion or critique, listen fully before reacting. Thank them, even if it's hard to hear. Use what's useful and let go of what isn't. Over time, this approach strengthens you far more than defensiveness ever could. 5. Serve more than you seek validation. Ask yourself each day, am I doing this to look good or to do good? When you shift from self-promotion to contribution, your ego naturally balances out. You become focused on purpose, not just personal image. Simple acts of service, helping a colleague, supporting a friend, doing something kind without recognition, are powerful ways to keep your ego in check. 6. Celebrate others without comparison. One common ego trap is comparison. Why them, not me? Or, I deserve more. Instead, celebrate others' wins sincerely. Remind yourself that someone else's success doesn't threaten your own. Focus on your own growth, not others' pace. Comparison feeds ego. Contentment feeds peace. 7. Reflect on your deeper values. When the ego dominates, we often forget what truly matters. Reconnect with your values by asking, what kind of person do I want to be remembered as? Am I living according to my principles or my pride? What would I do if no one were watching? These questions help shift focus from ego-driven decisions to value-driven living. 8. Make mindfulness a habit. Practicing mindfulness through journaling, meditation, deep breathing, or simply slowing down helps you stay centered. It allows you to observe your thoughts without judgment, see past ego-driven narratives, respond with intention instead of impulse. The more present you are, the less power ego has over you. Final thoughts. The strength and balance. Balancing ego isn't about denying your worth or silencing your voice. It's about staying rooted in self-awareness, humility, and purpose. It's about choosing growth over pride, connection over competition, and peace over control. When your ego is balanced, you move through life with confidence and compassion. You lead with wisdom, not insecurity. You uplift others without losing yourself. And in a world that often rewards loudness and ego, your quiet strength becomes your greatest power. How to balance your ego in everyday life, with practical insights. Ego is a double-edged sword. On one side, it helps us assert ourselves, protect our identity, and take pride in what we do. On the other, it can trap us in insecurity, conflict, and constant comparison. In everyday life, at home, at work, and in relationships, ego quietly influences our thoughts, reactions, and decisions. But with self-awareness and practice, we can learn to balance. 1. Know when ego is in control. Explanation. Ego often sneaks in when we feel challenged, disrespected, or insecure. It wants to protect us, but it can overreact. Recognizing these moments is the first step to managing ego. Signs ego is in control. You feel the urge to interrupt or win a conversation. You're easily offended or take neutral comments personally. You insist on having the last word. You become overly attached to titles, status, or appearance. Example: imagine a coworker corrects your mistake in a meeting. If your ego is in control, you may feel attacked, become defensive, or even try to discredit them. But if you're aware of your ego's reaction, you can respond calmly, thank them, and use it as a chance to grow. 2. Replace reactivity with reflection. Explanation: the ego thrives on impulse, saying things we later regret, or taking rash actions. Reflection creates a buffer between emotion and action. How to practice. Take 3 deep breaths before responding to a triggering situation. Ask, is this reaction based on truth, or is it my ego feeling threatened? Journal your reactions and patterns to better understand them. Example: you weren't invited to a group outing. Your ego might say, they don't respect me, or I'm being excluded. But after reflecting, you may realize it was a casual plan, not a personal slight, and you can let go of unnecessary resentment. 3. Practice humility without losing confidence. Explanation: confidence is believing in your abilities. Ego is needing everyone else to see it too. True humility means knowing your value without the need to prove it constantly. How to practice humility. Say, I don't know when you truly don't. It's honest, not weak. Invite others to share their ideas and genuinely consider them. Ask questions instead of always giving answers. Example: a balanced leader will delegate authority, admit mistakes, and seek team input because their confidence doesn't rely on being the smartest person in the room. 4. Embrace feedback as a tool for growth. Explanation. Feedback often feels uncomfortable because it threatens our self-image, but seeing it as information, not a personal attack, helps us grow faster and improve continuously. How to handle feedback. Listen actively and resist the urge to justify. Separate tone from content. Focus on the message. Reflect privately. What can I learn from this? Example: if a friend says you come across as dismissive instead of denying it, try asking them when they felt that way. This opens a space for understanding and adjustment. 5th shift from seeking validation to serving others. Explanation: an ego-driven life seeks attention, praise, and recognition. A balanced life focuses on contribution and impact, not just image. How to make this shift. Do good things without telling others. Build quiet integrity. Ask, how can I help, instead of what's in it for me. Celebrate the success of others sincerely. Example: rather than posting every accomplishment online for approval, focus on mentoring someone else who needs help. That's growth rooted in purpose, not ego. 6. Resist the trap of comparison. Explanation. Ego compares constantly: looks, career, lifestyle, even relationships. It leads to jealousy, low self-worth, or arrogance. Balanced people appreciate their own path without needing to compete. How to resist comparison. Limit social media time. It fuels unrealistic expectations. List things you're grateful for each day. Remind yourself, you're not late. You're on your own timeline. Example, your friend just bought a new house. Instead of feeling behind, acknowledge your own journey. Maybe you're paying off debt, investing in education, or building a different kind of life, and that's valid too. Seventh, reconnect with your deeper values explanation. Ego attaches to external success, but peace comes from living in alignment with your core values: kindness, honesty, fairness, compassion, discipline, etc. How to realign with values. Identify your top 3 life values. Write them down. Make decisions based on these values, not what boosts your image. Reflect weekly. Did I act in line with who I want to be? Example, you might have a chance to win an argument, but choose not to escalate because your value is harmony. That's ego balance in action. 8. Use mindfulness to stay grounded. Explanation. Mindfulness quiets the mental noise. It helps you observe your thoughts and ego-driven urges without being ruled by them. Mindfulness practices: 5 minutes of daily meditation or deep breathing, journaling to track patterns of ego reaction, observing your inner dialogue. Is this voice helping or hurting me? Explanation. Mindfulness quiets the mental noise. It helps you observe your thoughts and ego-driven urges without being ruled by them. Mindfulness practices: 5 minutes of daily meditation or deep breathing, journaling to track patterns of ego reaction, observing your inner dialogue. Is this voice helping or hurting me? Example, you're about to make a sarcastic remark in a group. A moment of mindfulness helps you pause, realize it's coming from insecurity, and choose a better response. Conclusion: ego in balance, a life in balance. Ego will always be with us, but it doesn't have to lead us. Balancing your ego means being proud but not prideful, being open but not insecure, being driven but not obsessed with recognition. This balance brings emotional stability, better relationships, and a greater sense of peace. You no longer live to defend your image. You live to grow, connect, and contribute. And that's when life truly begins to feel purposeful. Thank you for watching our video. See you again.